Well, welcome back to the Beginner's Guide. It's your host, Cobalt Kraken, and because of a request, I am putting out the rest of it. And it's just going to be a big clump video. It's going to be the rest, so about an hour. And we're just going to pick up where we left off. So if you haven't seen the first episode, I would obviously recommend going back and seeing that. Hope you all enjoy. So, a lamppost, April 2009. This game is connected to the internet. As you walk around, you can leave notes. Okay. All notes you see are left by other players. Like Dark Souls. Nice room. Not.
So first off, I'm sure you can deduce this, but this game is not connected to the internet.
Yeah.
All of the notes that you're gonna see have been written by Coda. This was actually the first game of his that I ever played. This was shortly after I met him at a weekend game jam in Sacramento, where I grew up. I saw him working on this very level, and it was just so different from anything that anyone else was doing. So right away I was like, I have to be friends with this person. In retrospect, I think I was probably a bit too pushy, trying to get his attention. I was over-enthusiastic. But he was very gracious about it and very patient with me. And I cooled off eventually. Oh, feel free to skip over any of these notes if they're not doing anything for you. Nothing extra is going to happen if you read all of them. Either way, to me they convey a sense of loneliness. I see this person who's filled with thoughts and feelings and beliefs and has no way to express them except as scattered and unheard voices in a game that wasn't meant to be played.
It's definitely got that
But it's
Dark
ironic,
Souls,
isn't it? That in playing this game and seeing how alone Coda often felt, that we get to know him better and actually kind of connect with him. And I have to be honest with you, this idea is really seductive to me. That I could just play someone's game and see the voices in their head and get to know them better and have to do less of the messy in-person socializing. I could just get to know you through your work.
Understand that.
I think this is why I always liked Coda's games so much, is because it felt like he let me have that connection.
Right.
I felt as though he was inviting me personally into his world. And then I feel less lonely too.
Yeah, like I was saying, Dark Souls, like when you're going down, I don't remember which one this is, if it's the second one or the first one, but I believe it's the second one. You're going down to the cave to fight the, I don't know who it is, but it's all dark. You have to throw your stones to be able to see. That's what kind of reminds me of. But yeah, we'll keep going then. Nothing here. Yeah. A free t-shirt. Need another side door while you... Have a door open? Well, you probably don't, I imagine. Gosh, there's so many text bubbles here. Part of me wants to, now that I know that once you read them, and once you walk over them, they go dark. I want to go over them all. Not really to read them per se, for the sake of time. Let's jump. Yeah, no problem, dog. Like that painting back there. Cabbage shapes our nation. Indeed, indeed. He's definitely got a thing for breaking concrete and wood. It seems like probably Source's main objects. I mean, yeah, no, I think that's all that Source really was good for, texture-wise. I mean, the bricks look really good. You know, surprisingly enough. Stop faking it, huh? Art. Yes, this would be considered art. Messy things look from close up. From up here, it just looks like dots. Well, I believe it is dots. Another cabbage shapes our nation. Okay. Well, let's keep going then. It's here now? Yeah, they're all here now. Must be a reason for it. You beat the game, did you? That's great. More room.
At the end of this level, we're going to see the puzzle again. And here, I'll tell you what I think the puzzle means. Each of these games represents an idea that was on Coda's mind at the time that he was making it. And the puzzle is a way of closing the door on a previous chapter of his life before moving on to the next one. In each of his games, after exploring a theme that, he might find difficult, Coda can then place this puzzle that he knows has a reliable solution, he understands exactly how it works, and so it gives him a simple mechanism for moving on. And because there's this dark area between the doors, a space between spaces, before you move on, you get to pause. Just for a moment, a few seconds to reflect on and let go of the events that led you here. To step back and connect the pieces together. To grasp at that elusive bigger picture.
Like typewriters. I can't speak. I can't do it. I'm unable. May to June 2009. Porn stars die too.
Okay, this one is tough. It's gonna kind of just spin its own wheels for a few minutes. Hang with it.
Okay. Got a nice little well out there, scenery. We've got a nice couch, some shelves, some nice shelves too. Let's see. Oof. It's very nice detail. Seems like he has a thing for the modern and the rustic, just like the two extreme spectrums here. And caves. Okay, we're in a well now.
This is it, the whole game. And there's nothing that's particularly interesting about it. You just walk to the end of a hallway. Except, for some reason, Coda gets really fixated on this prison that has all of this modern furniture.
Yeah.
And I don't know why, but he decides he needs to revisit this prison. He's gonna start over, use the same assets, turn it into something else. Okay, cool. Here's version 2.
Alright. Okay, now there's things where furniture should be. But furniture ought to go in the center of the room. TV with surround sound? No. Not really. I mean, put a giant hole in the ground? Sure. Okay, it doesn't matter. What goes along the wall? Dude, put a picture of a horse. So all the things we're doing are meaningless, pretty much. We should light it up a bit. Tesla coil, a skylight, I think 10 by 12 LEDs. Let's go with the LEDs, dog. Nice. Just what I asked for. A table, you need a table. Just go with tables were invented in 1935. I don't know if that's true or not. Fact check me. Okay. There's just a lot of tables.
There's a bit more to this one, but still, it's not really communicating anything. It's kind of just weird for weirdness' sake.
It would seem that way, definitely. Never got my picture of a horse, so, I'm pretty sad.
So, okay, he throws it out and starts over. This time he comes at the prison idea from a different direction.
Hello, please walk forward. I don't have any choice. I should do so. This guide will enable you to escape any prison environment. Follow the instructions carefully. Take care that you remember each step. First, click on this table. There's the 3 dots again. Good, now go over to the photo frame. Click it to turn it slightly. Now turn the floor lamp in this room, then turn it back on. Turn off the floor lamp. Now go to the left sofa and move it over a little. Finally touch the shelves. That's it. In a real prison, the escape will now open. Return to the start to be taken back to your prison. Alright, let's see if we can remember all that. Return. How nice. Return we shall. I hope. I'd imagine. Alright.
And of course, now the table is gone and you can't begin the chain of events to escape.
Indeed, that would be true.
Here's a version where there are no bars, but you can't actually get to the well. And then a version where the inside of the prison is the outside and the outside is the inside. Let me just blink you real quick.
I like that one.
These. I mean, he really unloaded on this prison idea. There's nearly a dozen of them. Personally, I think it's awful to watch this. To see a person basically unraveling through their work. And for what? Like, at what point do you just go, maybe there are game ideas other than this prison that I could be working on? But Coda doesn't have that voice telling you to stop. That particular mechanism of defense against yourself. Without it, you just spiral. And so he keeps going and going and going and going and going.
Very nice
and then he hits on
abstract.
something. And he likes it. And that's it. He's done. He stops making prisons. This is the very last version of the prison game that he created. And the reason I think it works is that the prison is not actually in it.
Okay. You start at the end of a dark corridor. Seems like a neighborhood. Houses. Okay. It's pretty open, all considering, all things. Seems like, what, a door or a phone booth and a lamp? Yep, that's indeed a phone booth. Nope. Hello. Who is this? It's your boy. It's me, I'm you. I'm you from after you escaped from the prison. Okay. You're me? So you were trapped in this prison too?
It's a conversation. And so
Indeed it
this
is.
is what Coda wants, is to be able to talk to someone, to share what's on his mind, and to get some good advice from someone who knows. But the irony is that even in this scenario, you're still talking to yourself. You know, all of these games so far are Coda talking to himself.
Do you feel any different? Sometimes I'm scared I'll get out and then things will be exactly the same as before. It actually does change. I mean, in the bigger scheme of things, I'm still stuck in this place. Like, I'm still here. I can't go anywhere of my own free will. So, in a way, it's the same. But it does feel different. It actually does change. I don't feel like I'm the same person at all. Oh, good. That's nice to hear. Makes me feel really happy. Remember to enjoy who you are right now. Sure. Wait, if you're me, then how did you get a call from another version? Or did you? No, I think I'm the first person to call back. Then can you tell me how to get out? Maybe I can come find you. What do I have to do? To get out, just talk with me for a bit. Tell me how you feel, brother. What? That will free me? How does that work? Just tell me how you feel. Okay, I feel afraid that nothing will ever change. Go on's our only answer. Go on. and nothing.
I can see why he considers this a fitting conclusion to the prison games. After all of the obsession and frustration, just to be told by someone you can trust that things are going to be okay. Wouldn't that be nice?
August 2009.
So what would it look like if Coda wanted to make a game about talking to someone other than himself?
Snowy, mansion place.
To me, this environment is meant to represent Coda's puzzle, with the two doors on either side and a dark transitional space between.
Yeah, I guess that is a theme. Tunnels with the modern furniture. I'll go in the first. Spilled coffee. Oh, hello. Well, my goodness, I'm glad as all heck that you showed up. Thought I might have... Oh, it's text, man. I thought I might be having to clean this entire house by myself. Everyone knows how lonesome hands
You'll notice that
make
the
lousy
quality of the
homes.
art is a step up from previous games, including this new and improved chat system, which he started using from this point on. From here on out, he begins putting much more effort into the visual polish of his work, and this particular game took 2 months to create as a result.
Are we cleaning this whole place? That's the story, little one. Oh, don't you worry now. We'll be through this mess in no time. I promise you'll wish there was more. Why don't I finish up here? In the meantime, could you please clear the table? Okay, table has been cleared. Now would you please run to the bed and make the bed? Bedroom. It's a room with the bed in it. Eat. While you're in there, why don't you straighten the rug a little bit? Alright. What else? Clean up the bookshelf. Do you enjoy your job? Being a house cleaner, I guess? Well, I don't enjoy it so much as I need it. While I'm working, I can feel a calm that rests in the pit of my ribcage. My soul just can't be soothed any other way, it seems. Which I guess is about all that matters. Oh, and that tidy couch. Would you straighten the pillows and the sofa out here? Sure, champ. Bah. Looks like someone spilled a drink. It's been cleaned. Feel compelled to share an incredibly cheesy personal insight. You okay with that? Excuse me. Yeah. Sure, I'm okay with it. Nothing? No? No, it was stupid. Never mind. Hey, these dishes need to be washed. Why don't you do that? Okay. They've been washed. Check the tub. It needs cleaning. Alright. Seems... Yeah, no need to be perfect. We're all just human. Still books scattered on the floor in the bedroom. A couple. What kind of books do we got here? Nothing crazy. Looks decently better. Come here and clean the dishes off the table.
After the intense set of prison games, this house cleaning level almost feels like cleansing.
Already did this.
It's the moment after a particularly difficult or traumatic experience where you just need to let it sit and digest inside of you, and eventually cohere into something meaningful.
Will these chores ever end? Darling, let me tell you something. Whatever work you do, you have absolutely got to own it. Otherwise, it owns you. So why don't we be with the task at hand and leave the future chores to the future you?
I know that Coda really liked
Present
this
you
game.
wants to smooth out the rug on the
Of all
bedroom.
his work, actually, this
Trust
was the
me on this
only
one.
one that he called me up to ask me to come over and look at it. This was during a period of a few months where he was like grossly happy all the time.
Looks like the tub
Just
has gotten rather
walked
dirty.
around with a constant smile on his face.
Earlier, when I said I had something really cheesy, I was going to say that it occurs to me that the one's house is a lot like one's soul. You take care of it and take cares of you. Don't know why I felt so weird about saying that. Guess we'll go with 2. Yeah, it's pretty cheesy. It's not, though. I mean, it's fun. Anyway, so, housekeeping. Let's keep doing this. Books, would you please clean up the books? Thanks. Alright, do the books again. Pillows.
I'm glad he made this. I'm glad he found some peace.
Question. Answer. You
But,
enjoy
of
this.
Of course, it can't last. The music stops, your companion is gone, it's time to leave. The door at the top of the hill is now open as well.
Very good.
Again, you can't stay in the dark space for too long. You just can't. You have to keep moving. It's how you stay alive.
Yeah, I don't think if this was a game I would have played it for very long at all. There's a lamppost. Okay.
Which is the whole point of the puzzle doors, right? That sooner or later you have to pick up and move. I really thought that was the point of it.
Nope. September 2009. Items you love
This
at members-only
one gets
prizes.
a bit goofy.
All right, we in class. Why'd you come here today? Was it to improve your life? To get a better job? Or to make relationships more meaningful? No. You came here to be more perfect. This workshop is going to teach you how to be perfect. I want your friends, the people in your life, to look at you and think, wow, this person is a better human being than I am. Right now, who do you think about that in that way in your own life? Who do you know who is so well developed as a person that they make you feel disgusted with yourself? Compared to whom you feel useless, selfish, ungrateful. I intend to make you into that person. Perfection is within your grasp, and the question is not how we do it, but how we do it effortlessly. This is so easy.
About
It is so
halfway
easy.
through the game, the perspective shifts.
Being perfect is effortless. Oh.
And you play
Guess
as
what?
the teacher. And suddenly, you discover that your teacher is just as bigoted and afraid as you are. Oh, and also you can move around the classroom now.
Indeed. Seek only one thing. You am developing a cyst. Okay. Ecstasy. Yeah, dog. Let's do this. Do what's easiest, do what's simplest. Sure.
I felt pretty hard for this one.
Perfection.
I feel like it's one of the most relatable experiences that you can have. To assume
Is it?
that some other person is perfect and totally fulfilled in every way, and completely miss all of the little flaws that make them painfully human. I think about this game a lot these days.
Maybe a little too highbrow for my small brain. All right,
This
we
one
see the
took a
same.
lot longer than all the others for Coda to make. It was
4
4
months.
months between this and the last one. That's twice as long as it took him to make any other game before this, and it's not like it's particularly complex, so I remember I found that a little strange at the time.
It's for a big stage with... Oh. But no one's here. Alright, the performance is beginning. Places, please. In this scene, you will be playing as me. We are at a gathering of professionals. First, you will start out learning and leaning against the wall. Okay. Stay right there. Woman across the room in this chair is a professional photographer of animals. It's your dream to photograph animals professionally. This is your one chance to learn something from her. Go on, say something to her. We'll just go with hello. hello, that's it. That's not a conversation. You actually need to converse with her. Be a human being. Do it again. These are all terrible options. It's my hopes and dreams. No, that's not what I said to her at all. You're completely missing the tone of the conversation. I was reserved, but I knew what I wanted. I was confident. For some reason, it was just that one moment, but I was confident. Maybe it's that you need a better feel of the setting. There was a lot more people around us. I'll give you some props to work with. These cones that bounce when you touch them will represent people nearby. Let's see. 1. You must have worked really hard to get where you are. You messed it up again. You'll freak her out if the conversation gets that personal that quickly. Everything was riding on this. You'll never get another opportunity. I want to try something. Try stepping back from the stage. Okay. Just keep going back. Oh, we're in a cage again. Oh no. This is what it was like.
The game ends with this eerie premonition of what's going to happen next in Coda's life. The solution, social anxiety, to fears of having to perform and having to chase success, the answer for Coda is to withdraw, to hide himself away. Which is what leads to scenarios like the stairs that slowed you down several games ago, where it just becomes harder and harder to access Coda's inner landscape because he keeps retreating. He just keeps backing away from possible connections to anyone other than himself. And to be honest, I didn't consider it very healthy when I first played this game. You know, it looked to me like he was trying to justify the idea of just disconnecting yourself from the world. And that wasn't what I wanted for him or for his games. Because I feel like a lot of his games are inviting me to connect with this person, to bring him closer. But what can you do? After this, Coda went off and took another 5 months to make a new game.
2010. Mobius Trip. To play this game properly, you must keep your eyes closed. Click the game. What's going on? Help, I'm blind. Help, I'm blind. My vision suddenly went black. It's a giant door. We all gonna die. Same whisper thing that was going on.
You should
before.
probably open your eyes if you haven't already. It's pretty much impossible to solve otherwise. And there is a solution, by the way.
There is a solution. The only way is to speak something honest. 2. I can't keep making these. Yes, that's it. That's the truth. It's draining.
Like I said, I was getting concerned. First off, he's never been this explicit in his work about exactly what he's thinking. So where's that coming from? But then even weirder, his work has potentially stopped being an outlet for him. Not like he's having trouble iterating on ideas, but he literally just can't think of new ideas anymore. And in person, he was being a lot more distant than usual. Like, you know how sometimes a person will just deflect anything that you say in order to keep themselves disconnected all the time? It was that kind of thing. Here was the point in my relationship with Coda where I really started to wonder if he needed my help in some way.
Can't figure out how to say the thing. You're doing it. It's working. I'm alone. We're gonna be okay.
His games are going to get more desperate from here on out. After this game, it's almost 6 months before he finishes something new.
Interesting. 2010, December. Hello. Breath of life. Is anyone there? Hello. Alright. Is that a person? How lovely. Is there someone here? Is it the tree? It's been a long time since I talked to anyone. What's wrong? You look lost. When I try to create, I feel empty. Oh no. What happened? Did something change? There's a machine that kept me going and it stopped. Or I'm trying to find this engine that used to protect me. Go with one. It's a machine that kept me going and it stopped. Wait, you're looking for a machine? I think I know where it is. It isn't far. I need to see it now, to know why it stopped. I can take you
If
to
the
it.
last game
there's a
featured
problem,
Coda talking
it's guarded by a
explicitly about
difficult
his
puzzle.
creative frustrations, this one turns it up to 11. Now, put yourself in my shoes playing this. Here's a friend whose work is exhibiting signs of struggle, frustration, anxiety, depression, even.
I picked number
And
3, by
yet
the way.
still, he keeps making games. He keeps throwing himself into the grinder even when he clearly doesn't have the energy for it anymore. Why? What is it for? Because from my perspective at the time and just what I knew of him, this was a result of how isolated he was. He
Solve
was
this puzzle
in his
before.
own little bubble, just sitting at his computer all day, not really showing these games to anyone, not releasing them onto the internet, and so he didn't have anyone outside of himself to connect with. He had no outlet to ground himself on.
And you have to close the door. Just press the switch there. And that's it. That was so simple.
You can't talk yourself out of loneliness. It doesn't work that way.
Indeed, it does
You
not.
can't be the one writing both the questions and the answers. Then there's no movement. Then there's no circulation. If all of your anxieties are being channeled into your work, then if the work ever fails, you have no backup and you're just going to crash.
There's no machine here. You have to say that your work is fun and easy. You say that game development is simple and joyous, and that you love it 100% of the time. Alright, making games is effortless. Ah, that feels wonderful. But it wasn't true. Don't worry about it, just keep talking. Keep saying that creation is easy. It's easy. I'm constantly excited and enthusiastic about my work. Yes, that's wonderful. Keep going.
Seeing this game at the time that he made it, it looked really unhealthy to
Such
me.
a simple solution.
I was watching him do this to himself, and I hated it. I hated seeing him so trapped. It's like video games are not worth this amount of suffering.
No, this is
This is
happening.
someone I really cared about. And I used to get so much joy out of seeing him create. For him to suddenly become angry and frustrated like this, it was the worst thing for me.
Keep
I don't
going.
know. This is what I felt at the time. I don't know how else to explain it. I wanted it to stop more than anything. I
Back
never
to the
felt
same
so
prison.
rotten. I needed more than I had ever needed anything for this to stop. But it didn't stop. After finishing this one, Coda takes another 7 months and comes up with a new game.
May 2011. The machine. The thing we were searching for. A guard? Oh, well, I just sneak around you. I can't. Hello, guard. I am glad to see you've arrived safely. We've captured the machine. It's waiting for you. You can begin the interrogation whenever you like. I tend to be quick. Very good. Let me in. Should be warned that someone called the press, so we might have a bit of attention on this one. Also, one more thing that you should know about the machine. It calls itself Coda. Alright. Press, hello. Welcome, hello. Give me a smooch. Thanks. There you go. Leave happy with those little smooches.
And of course, it's the machine.
Very nice looking machine. You stopped. Your work is keeping us alive. There's people out there, can you imagine the pain? It's only because of your creations that any of us could make it through every day. So here's what need to happen. You need to go to the people, apologize, no, to admit to the people, 3, solo. Apologize for leaving. It's just a machine. Seeing the thing that you fear. Right then, I'll apologize to the people for your behalf. Or to the people on your behalf. And we go to the press. Hello. My friends. Falls on me to deliver bad news. The machine refuses to admit, but will not apologize to us. We'll find a way to live without it. We do not need its games. Let us show it that we are not failures. You, and you over there. Follow me, we will destroy everything the machine has created. We will destroy the machine. Neither of these are great options, but probably destroy what it's created rather than what it is. Okay. Here comes the gun back into the game. Make sure you are known forever.
So now the work is becoming self-destructive. And I'll tell you, at the time that I first played this game, shortly after he made it, here's what I'm thinking to myself. I'm thinking that Code is stuck in his own head, and that it's having a very negative effect on him, and that all he needs to do is just start showing his work to people, to get some actual feedback on his games. It might get him out of isolation.
Nope.
And so, as I'm thinking this, I realize that I could be the one to initiate it. Because it would never occur to Coda to start actively soliciting feedback, so what if I did it for him? If he could see the difference it would make to have more actual conversations with other human beings, would that bring him out of his mental spiral?
So bright.
Would it give him confidence in himself? Would it bring meaning back into his work? So I started showing Coda's work to people. I took this one, and the islands which you just played, the theater, the notes, the house cleaning game, and some of the prison escape games. I brought them to people that I knew and trusted. I asked their opinions. And the great part is that they really loved his games. The point of it all was just to give him some external reference point, but they genuinely loved his work. There was nothing for him to be afraid of.
Okay. Cutscene. Put down your weapon.
Can you see why I felt like this was the right thing to do? Because it's the thing that I always feel like I need, to be told that my work is good, that I am good. When someone really connects with a thing that I've made, when they see themselves purely in my work, there's nothing that feels better. And I got to give that very same feeling to my friend. I did something, I really felt like I'd done something good, like I was a good person. I felt like there was a friend who was in trouble and was unhappy and maybe didn't like themselves, and I could fix it. If I could give him this gift, maybe I could fix the problem. When they told me how much they enjoyed his games, it was the best feeling. It was the absolute best feeling. It made me feel so happy. So beautifully, beautifully happy.
Interesting.
So anyway, Coda finishes this game, and then really he just kind of takes off for a while. So this is June of 2011, and I didn't hear anything from him for several weeks, I guess. And so out of nowhere, one day I get an email, and it's got a private link to a new game of Coda's. This one is called The Tower, and to my knowledge, it's the last game that Coda ever made.
Okay.
So let's take a look.
Will do. The Tower. Okay. Usual suspects, right or left? Let's go right.
And this is where I have trouble saying anything meaningful about Coda's work. Because more than anything else, The Tower just feels distant. It feels like it's trying to distance itself from the world. It's a very cold game.
I guess. I like it. I like the aspect of it. Tactical nuke? Hello?
This room actually has a maze in it.
It does. Oh gosh.
Except that
Seizure
all the
warning.
walls of the maze are invisible. And then every time you touch one of the walls, there's this awful flashing and noise. So the experience is really miserable. The game goes beyond not being meant to be played. It actually seems to despise the player for trying to play it at all.
Anymore.
But I do want to show you the rest of the levels, so when you're ready to continue, press enter and I'll put a bridge over the maze.
Yeah, I don't want to deal with that. Okay. This is the usual texture, I would imagine, from Stanley Parable creator. Interesting. Like, from this creator, I'm imagining there's like some kind of second narrative going on here, but I can't.
And to be
seem
fair,
think
it's not
about
like this is the first game that's needed some modification to be playable. Like the house cleaning game. You know, that one used to actually loop the cleaning chores and you just cleaned a house forever. I had to cut it off so that you could exit the house and the game would actually end.
Thank you
But
for that.
that game had an idea that it was actually trying to communicate. What's the deeper idea behind the invisible maze? The only way past this challenge is to randomly guess the 6-digit code. Like the invisible maze, it's frustrating to me, because it's the opposite of everything else that Coda has made. It doesn't encourage thought or engagement. It doesn't ask anything of me, except a lot of my time. If I could have reached him during this time, then maybe I could have asked him, but I couldn't. I still don't really understand why this is here. I'll put the code on the ground for you here, though, so that we can move on.
Well, I definitely didn't get any of those numbers right. back. Bah. There, we got a little staircase, Harry Potter style. Very nice. Another tactical nuke. Hayit. Okay. In a prison
The
of
switch
sorts.
to open this door is actually on the other side of the door, meaning that it's literally impossible to solve from this side. So even if you somehow brute forced your way through the first two challenges and you got to this point, there's actually just no way to progress. And it's scary for me, the idea of Coda cutting himself off entirely, just saying, you know, that's it, that's the end of the conversation, not giving me any way to fix the problem. I feel like a failure, I guess, when I can't fix the problem. But I can open this door for you, so let me do that.
Alright.
Was I a failure for not understanding this game?
No, you're fine,
I
champ.
don't know why I would be. It's not like everything needs to have a solution, but I feel it somehow. I feel like I failed, and I don't understand why. I remember, it's June of 2011. I'm playing this for the very first time, and as I'm playing, I'm thinking to myself, I don't know this person. I have no idea who this person is. It wasn't the guy I knew, it wasn't my friend. I had come to so many conclusions from looking at all of his work up to this point, and then suddenly none of them... I had been trying to, though. That was the thing. For years I was trying to get to know him, to understand who he actually was and what he stood for.
Mm-hmm.
I asked him so many times to please just tell me what his games mean to him. I asked him please to tell me what the 3 dots mean.
Yeah, that would be nice.
And he wouldn't.
They're everywhere. Interesting light up there.
I just felt so strongly that if I could have connected with him, that if I could have somehow made his work my own, that I would finally be once and for all happy. It was that I needed to see myself in someone else. I needed to be someone other than me.
Mm-hmm.
But he stopped and left. And it felt somehow like I had failed. Where did I screw up? I'm the reason that you stopped making games, aren't I? It's because of what I did. I poisoned it for you. I don't think I ever told you this, but when I took your work and I was showing it to people, it actually felt... It felt as though I were responsible for something important and valuable. And the people who played them, they treated me like I was important. They really listened and cared about what I had to say. Even though I was showing your work, it was... I felt good about myself. Finally. For a moment, while I had that, I liked myself.
Interesting. So you've infected my personal space. And it's possible I did begin to plant solutions in my work somewhere, hidden between games. If there was an answer, a meaning, would it make you any happier? Would you stop taking my games and showing them to people against my wishes? Giving them something that is not yours to give? Violating the one boundary that keeps me safe? Would you stop changing my games? Stop adding lampposts to them?
And then you stopped, and I didn't have anything left to show people. I I just
simply
had to
let them
be
be
with
what
myself.
they are.
And as soon as that happened, there was no feeling at all. Nothing. Less than nothing. What does that mean?
When I am around you, I feel physically ill. You desperately need something that I cannot give you. I literally do not have it. Struggling to come up with new ideas is not making me depressed. Low points are just part of the process. The fact that you think I am frustrated or broken says more about you than me. I realize that this doesn't make any sense to you just yet. Which is fine, you're not my problem to solve. But I do hope that one day it clicks, that you make peace with the thing that you are wrestling.
I'm afraid that I did something really stupid because I don't like myself.
When you finally see what I'm talking about, don't say anything.
That's why I'm releasing this collection of your work, is because I haven't been able to find any other way to reach you. I've tried everything. And so a part of me has hope that if I put this compilation out into the world, and if I put my name on it, that maybe enough people will play it so that it'll find its way to you, so that I can tell you that I'm sorry. I know I screwed up. If I apologize to you truly and deeply, will you start making games again? Please, I need to feel okay with myself again. And I always felt okay as long as I had your work to see myself in. I mean, is something wrong with me? Because I know that I did an awful thing, and I'm doing it again right now. Like, I'm showing people your work, but I can't stop myself from doing it. That's how badly I need to feel something again, like I'm an addict. There has to be something wrong with me. Can I apologize? What if I tell you I was wrong? Will that work? Will that fix it? I don't know. I don't think it will, but there's nothing else that I can do. Just tell me what you want. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Please, start making games again. Please help me. Please give me some of whatever it is that makes you complete. I want whatever that wholeness is that you just summoned out of nothing and you put into your work. You were complete in some way that I never was.
Oh gosh.
I want to know I want to know how to be a good person. I want to know how not to hate myself. Please. I'm fading, and all I want is to know that I'm going to be okay.
So it was him all along, screwing with the games. Epilogue. So nothing was wrong with Coda at all. It's just this guy. It's a lamppost of sorts in the center. TV-like thing.
More love, more praise, more people telling me that I'm good. Always more. It's like a disease. Solution.
Very nice estate you have here, sir.
I guess if someone had told me ahead of time that he just really enjoyed making prison games, maybe I wouldn't have thought he was so desperate. I wouldn't have told so many people that he was depressed. Maybe he just likes making prisons.
Maybe, friend.
Even now, the disease is telling me to stop. Don't show people what a shitty person you are. They'll hate you.
Nothing to do with that. All right. What do we got in here? Nope.
if I knew that my life depended on finding something to be driven by other than validation, what would that even be? It's strange, but the thought of not being driven by external validation is unthinkable. Like, I actually cannot conceive of what that would be like.
Give everyone the panoramic there, you know, the action shot, as they might say.
What now?
What now? Well, I don't know.
I think I need to go.
You do that, friend.
And
help yourself.
I'm sorry, because I know that I said that I would be here and I would walk you through this, but I'm starting to feel like I have a lot of work to do. I have a lot that I need to make up for, and so I'm just gonna... Okay.
Okay. Okay, what? Alright, what do we got here? Puzzles, maybe? At some point? Haven't had a need to crouch yet, but it's a thing. Or jump, really. Okay. Abstract land. There's boxes with squares in them. Squares of squares. On a square. Yeet. Bop. And we're in a prison of sorts. An elevator. Slowly. It's in there. And we are back at the train station. How peaceful, the birds chirping, and a long, very long corridor. How interesting. Ah, I see, the reactor, where we shall jump into and maybe see what all this nonsense is about. Hello, Star Wars deal. Will you make me fly? No? Yes? Okay. Fly away we shall. Nope, nothingness. Nope. Hello, maze. That's a big ass maze, I'd say. It's a beginning but no end, it would seem. Give you $10 to try to find it. Bet you can't. It's going up, 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 up. Crescendo, and then nothing.
Turn back.
4R.
Turn back from this cave. You said, let me prove that I'm brave. Let me keep going.
I see. Yeah, well, that's the beginner's guide. If you made it this far, kudos to you. This game is a little too cerebral for my taste, but so is the Stanley Parable. But I don't know. It tells a story. It does what it's doing. I don't know if it really tells a story, but it gives concepts for sure. Yeah, it's yeah. I'd say go out and buy it. Well, that's what I usually do. But if you made it this far, you've already there you go. You're welcome. $10. Only took an hour or so out of your time, an hour and 30 probably. But if you have any, thoughts on the game, put them down there. I looked up some meanings and stuff like that. There's a lot out there, but it's an interesting game. Interesting. That's usually what I say when I'm not really sure what to say about it. It's again, maybe a little too highbrow for me. Just cutting in here from the future me. After watching it for the second time, I feel like I understood a lot more about the game. So, if you don't really get it, like I did the first time, or I didn't get it the first time, I'd recommend playing it through yourself or watching it again. Because I feel like it really opens your eyes to a lot of the things, the concepts, and the actual story, because there is one, don't believe me, that the creator's trying to push. So, yeah, made me dumb. But it's nice. It's a nice little break from the normal gameage that we usually have on here. So, if you enjoyed this kind of video, click the like button. This type of game's not going to be on the channel really ever. So, if you like it, tell me. If you don't, well, you don't have to say anything, because that's just how it's going to be. Or if you don't like it, tell me why, really. But if you've been here this long and you haven't subscribed already, please consider doing so. It means a lot. And yeah, hope you've enjoyed it. Hope it's maybe given you some things to think about. Or maybe it was just fun while you're driving around or doing some homework, who knows. But most of all, hope you enjoyed. And we'll see you in the next one. Bye.